Welcome back to Ag Ammo and Adventure, the only podcast where pork chops sizzle, deer duck, and Iowa legends pour it strong. As always, I'm Steve Larson, the meat doctor, running point and keeping the chaos calibrated. Today's episode is carbonated with greatness as we sit down with Kirk Tyler, chairman of the board at Atlantic Bottling Company. He's the man behind the fizz, the flavor, and the backbone of every cooler from small-town Iowa to the deer stand. Joining me in the co-host seat, locked and loaded for another deer season, is James Kinsey, the man, the myth, the legend. You've heard his name before, Liars Club, the guy who somehow turned missing deer into a lifestyle brand. And my regular co-host, well, he's still off chasing antlers in the woods. I'm not saying he's gone feral, but if you see a guy arguing with a squirrel about scent control, that's probably him. If you hear whistling in the timber, it's not a deer. Just let him know to follow the sound of the interstate and come home. Buckle up, folks. It's going to be a wild ride. Thank you for being here, James. James, your name has been on the podcast a few times. I want to give, before we get to Mr. Tyler, I'd like to give you the ability to defend your honor and everything that has been on this podcast, James.
Well, I don't feel I have to defend anything because, I think everybody that is in our group has had the opportunity to shoot and has come up in the same regard as far as missing. Some of us a little bit more than others. But no, I think for me, just getting out there in the field and it's camaraderie with the fellows down there and walking around and enjoying nature. So
it's a lot of fun. And we've established, just so we can level set in this room, I have not hit a deer in 3 years.
With a gun or a car?
All the above.
Okay.
All the above.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I have donated to the Iowa DNR for 3 years now. We talked about a bow tag, shotgun tag, and then a couple doe tags scattered around rifle season and late season muzzleloader. So I'm doing my part to keep the economy strong in the state of Iowa, right?
somebody has to.
All right. So our guest today, Mr. Tyler or Kirk?
Kirk, please.
Okay. Welcome to Ag Ammo and Adventure. Tell us about yourself. Where'd you grow up? What'd you do? How much trouble did you get into that I think the statute of limitations has passed in southwest Iowa?
Oh, thank goodness. Kirk Tyler, I'm chairman of the board of Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company. I'm third generation owner of the company. Fourth generation is now involved. And my grandfather, I grew up in Atlantic. We always, when we get together at reunions or various group gatherings, everybody always says Atlantic was just a great place to grow up. You could walk around, go anywhere in town, have fun, get in trouble. But it was just a great place to grow up in. And that's what I did. And then I went off to, got out of school there in Atlantic, went off to a college formerly known as Dana College, spent 4 years there.
What made you choose Dana above other choices?
I was in the back of the plant. I hated school.
Oh, really?
Hated school. And I was in the back of the plant sorting bottles summer after my senior year, which was the worst job in the plant. And a friend of a sister came by the plant, and he was recruiter for Dana College, and he explained the situation, and I thought, boy, this sounds a heck of a lot better than sorting bottles. So I had him send me an application, and the rest is history.
Wow. So Dana was in Blair. How far is Blair from Atlantic, Iowa?
Blair is about 70 miles from Atlantic, about 20 miles straight north of Omaha on the Missouri River.
On the Liars Club, just so you know, we've got 3 Southwest Iowa boys here, 2 from Anita, 1 from Atlantic, which is how it should be. In Anita, we had a saying that if you were south of 92, you were considered Missouri. Did you guys have that same saying in Atlantic?
No, we did.
You didn't? Oh, my gosh. Did we just make that up, James?
You have the mouse in your pocket?
Oh, my gosh. So, Kirk went to Dana College. Sorry, I keep want to say Dana College. What happened after Dana College?
I got out of college and I moved to Creston, Iowa, which was tough for a kid from Atlantic. We were in the same conference and they were pretty big rivals. We had a facility in Creston, and so I ran a route there for 2 years. Great experience. Really learned the business, grassroots marketing. Then I went off and I had an opportunity to go down to Atlanta, Georgia, which is the headquarters of Coca-Cola.
How big was the route in Creston? Is your routes is it by distance or geographic?
Yeah, I delivered to the towns of Winterset and Osceola. Those were my really big towns. Then I also had St. Charles, Bevington, Truro, East Peru. Those were the not so big towns. But boy, just great people in there, and you just learn a lot about how to market your product and how hard it is to deliver the product, merchandise it. So you learn it from the ground up.
Absolutely. Well, and in my experience, we've always debated on, do you want to get into a big market and then expand it, or do you want to try to get into a new market and start there? What was your philosophy?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Whenever you could get a sale, that's what we did.
We always want to have Coca-Cola available to anybody that wants it, whenever they want it, wherever they want it.
Especially this time of year, there's a lot of Coca-Cola. I know it's not even Thanksgiving yet, so I do not like to bring up Christmas, but there's still a lot of Coca-Cola Christmas stuff going up right now.
We hope so.
Yeah. All right, so went down to Atlanta. How long did you spend in Atlanta down there?
Spent a year in Atlanta, traveling the country, meeting a lot of great people, doing a lot of really neat merchandising things. It was a training program that the company called the SOB training program, and that stands for Son of a Bottler. And so I'd spent a year down there, and it was a great year. Was it?
Okay. One thing our audiences want to know is, were you married at the time when you went down to Atlanta?
Yes, I was.
Well, how'd you? So on the podcast, we don't do marriage counseling, so let's just level set right there. But we do give guidance and opinions if you need to, even though I know you don't. So wife from Atlantic or around the area?
My wife, Janelle's from Hancock, Iowa, a farm just east of Hancock. And she was teaching in Orient Maxburg when we were in Creston, and moved down to Atlanta during the summer with me and said, I'll go down there with you for the summer, then I'll come back and resume my teaching contract. And she moved down to Atlanta and said, I'm not going back to Iowa.
No, Ken, she loved it that much.
It was great. It was great.
No snow probably when you were down there.
No snow, no kids. I think we scraped frost off the windshield once. And so that kind of sold us. But we had a great time, and she really enjoyed it. So she taught down there for just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. And my wife is affectionately known as the boss on this podcast.
Understandably.
Right. Yeah. So she was my neighbor growing up. So yours was a little bit further. I only had to go across the backyard to meet my wife. You had to go a little bit further.
It's Anita, though.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's the whale of a town. I keep pushing these wineries that we're at, or breweries that need to make a Whale Town ale or something like that. Right.
All right.
What do you think about that, James? Do you think we could get a Whale Town ale developed?
Too much red tape to go through to get something like done in that. And Anita, so.
You think so? What it would go? We still have 3 bars in Anita.
Yeah.
6 churches.
6 churches. Maybe 5. So we're doing good. We've got the bases covered, I believe.
Take the water out of Lake Anita.
It's not good for fishing anymore, and I think it's good for growing lily pads, from what I'm told. But let's see, Atlanta. Then where after Atlanta did you go?
After Atlanta, we moved up here to Des Moines. My father and grandfather had purchased the Des Moines Coke franchise a few years prior to that, and neither one of them wanted to move to Des Moines because they were small town kids. And they said that they knew somebody that would want to move to Des Moines, and that was me. And it was a great move.
Now, did you know that you always wanted to work in the family business? Did you want to try something? Now, that's a big question.
Yeah. And a good story behind that is I'd grown up sweeping the floors and doing all the things other family members do. And my mother had a twin sister that lived here in Des Moines, and my junior and senior year, she had became ill. So my mother spent a lot of time up here in Des Moines with her. So one evening, my father comes home, and of course he didn't cook. And so he says, let's go out to the country club and have dinner. And this was mid-'70s, I think. And we go out to dinner and I ate a lot. And so finally he says, we've got this opportunity to purchase the Des Moines franchise, but I need to know if you're interested in coming into the business, because if you're not, I'm not going to work that hard to go and buy the Des Moines franchise. So here I was when my goals in life were, where's the party on Friday night, and am I going to go to prom or not? And here he is asking me if I'm going to interested in the business. Right. So I kind of committed myself that night.
Really?
Yeah.
At the country club. That's when the decision was made.
No alcohol involved. So.
Not yet. Yeah, that we know of, right? Well, so maybe help our audience, the Liars Club, understand what's the difference between Coca-Cola and Atlantic Bottling Company, or maybe the partnership between the two?
Well, we like to say they create the demand and we fulfill the demand. Okay. So that we buy concentrate from the Coca-Cola Company, and then we produce the soft drinks in our plant in Atlantic. And then we produce it, market it, and sell it.
Oh, wow. We got a tour of the Atlantic place this morning, which was phenomenal. And I told the story that a long, long time ago, I worked there over a Thanksgiving break. Joel Berg said he had a job for me. I said, I'd love to do it. Yeah, what time do you want me there? He said 5 o'clock. And I was like, it's a break, Joel. I mean, do I have to be there? We start at 5, so you probably want to be there at 4:45, actually, Steve. All right. So I went back corner, and as you said, you were the bottle watcher. I think I was the can watcher at this one, and watching them come through, and I had to make sure things didn't get messed up, and said, I could do this all day. This isn't so hard. Sat back in the chair and started to get warmer and warmer, and before I knew it, somebody was tapping me on the shoulder, and I woke up, and it was Joel saying, Mr. Larson, you need to be awake to do this job.
It helps.
Yeah, right. Yes, sir. Yep. I don't know what happened, but we'll get after it. So, and also we talked about, I was one of the lucky ones or privileged ones, got a Coca-Cola scholarship when I went to Iowa State. So thank you for starting off, as I said, my 10-year journey at Iowa State. So that was good.
Good.
Well, let's see. Okay. Atlanta, and then came back to Des Moines, and you've been in Des Moines ever since, correct?
Since June of 81.
Ooh, June of 81. So you've seen a lot of change in the Des Moines area then.
A lot of change, yeah. Des Moines wasn't really a very nice place to be. Downtown, you didn't really go there after 5 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
But through a lot of great people in town, the whole metro area has really prospered.
Well, now, and we talked earlier, how did Atlantic Bottling Company first start, and the products that your grandpa and father first started with?
Sure. My grandfather and his brother started our business in 1909 down in Villisca, Iowa, in the ice cream, butter, and we had a line of soda water. So orange grape, strawberry, cream soda, ginger beer, orange pineapple, all those kind of things. 18 different flavors. And they became pretty proficient in the ice cream business, so they bought a creamery down in Clarinda, about 15 miles south of Villisca at the time, and they were doing their due diligence in the creamery. They go out in the warehouse, and there was a safe in the warehouse. They open up the safe. Lo and behold, there's a franchise for Coca-Cola.
No kidding.
So that's how we got started in the Coke business.
That is amazing.
It's a fun story to tell.
So did your grandpa call up Coke and say, we've got this, can we start bottling for you?
That is correct.
Really?
Yeah. And people ask us now, who had it before? And we have no idea.
It was in the safe.
Yeah. So we bought everything there. So
then when did, because you don't have butter now, you don't have ice cream now, when did that start to peel off and focus more on I heard today, is it carbonated soft drink? Is that CSD? Is that the vernacular?
Correct.
When did the butter and the ice cream fall off the shelves?
So they, in the late 20s, they sold the ice cream to Meadow Gold, Beatrice Foods. And a good story behind the ice cream business was Villisca was a very transient town because the railroad went through it. And there was an Hispanic family that had settled in Villisca, and mother, father, and 4 boys and a girl. And the 4 boys worked in the creamery for my grandfather, became very good at making ice cream. Then the mother and the father passed away, and then the kids decided they were going to move back to Mexico. And so they went to my grandfather and said, Harry, would you mind if we take your ice cream recipe back to Mexico with us? Late 20s, go ahead, knock yourselves out.
Yep.
So they went back to a small town called Monterey, which I believe today is about 8 or 9 million people. And they produced our ice cream under the Lila brand. And it was Lila originally, which took Lino Landeros. The Landeros family was the family. And later on, they changed it to Lyla. And until a few years ago, they had about a 65% share of the ice cream business in Monterey, Mexico.
No kidding.
What's fun is our family stays in touch with their family. Our kids stay in touch with their kids through social media. And it's just a lot of fun, and it's just a great story.
And that's how it all started. They got the recipe in Venezuela and said, hey, like, can we just start making it in Mexico?
Correct. So,
wow.
And with no royalties, which really kind of upsets me.
Well, no counseling, but we'll do therapy later. All right.
Yeah.
James, would you like to go down to Mexico and run a plant down there?
I've actually been to Monterey here a year and a half ago. Very Americanized. I'd go back.
Would you?
Move down there? No. Well, I like the roads, infrastructure here in the States. So those little things you appreciate about.
I know I had a project down in Veracruz, Mexico.
Okay.
And I became scared. I don't get scared too easy. When we were passing people on the opposite side of the road with cars coming right at us, wondering, I just want to make it to my hotel. That's all I want to do today.
No.
Well, James, tell us about your story. How did you end up at Coca-Cola, at Atlantic Bottling Company?
Oh, my gosh. So, right around here next April will be 30 years that I've been in the Coke business.
Hasn't been that long, 30 years.
Yeah.
So he didn't fall asleep.
I didn't fall asleep.
He was much better than me.
So started in production, Atlantic, got a taste for that and decided I wanted to do something different.
How long were you at Atlantic?
Right around a year, a little over a year, and tried to get out to Des Moines, right? I wanted to get into the sales side of it, pedal sales at that time. So I came to Des Moines, for 2-3 years in sales, pre-sales we transitioned to, and then met a lady or girl at that time and, chased her to Omaha. So spent 15 years away from Iowa because that's where she's from. She's from Omaha, outside of Bellevue, Nebraska. So
The boss of your house?
the boss of my house.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so from there, we spent time in Omaha, obviously, to 6 years in Texas, back to Omaha. And then as the refranchising was happening, I knew kind of end state where I wanted to be and, reached out to Kirk and said, he's your place. And
He said, as long as you stay away. Well, and Kirk, if you want to, we could do James's yearly performance review on this podcast if you want to.
I don't know if you have time.
We'd have to bleep out a few things.
No, it's a great success story. Coming full circle, coming back home. He does a great job for us.
Absolutely. And the class of 94 from Anita High School is representing, right?
absolutely.
And we won't ask what year you graduated because we don't do that on the podcast.
Thank
right?
you.
You're welcome. Kids, do you have any kids?
Have a son and a daughter, son-in-law, 4 grandchildren.
Oh, wow. Ages of grandchildren?
Ooh, boy. Twin girls that are 13, boy that's 10, and a boy that's 7, and that's as of today.
Oh, wow. Birthday day, right? Maybe? Close enough. Wait, nobody knows what date we recorded, so yes, it is his birthday. Happy birthday. Are they all close by?
They are all in Des Moines, yeah.
Oh, good.
Been around the country, but now they're in Des Moines, which is great.
Yeah. How about grandma likes being close to...
Likes that.
Yeah. And I hear, rumor has it, you're a big Hawkeye fan.
That is correct.
That's a legitimate rumor that I've heard.
Not a rumor.
Not a rumor. No, well, and I'm going to tell you right now that, I went to Iowa State, which is considered Harvard of the Midwest. So I just want to let's just start the conversation there, right?
That is a rumor.
It's not confirmed. Is that what you're telling me?
Certain lines.
Certain lines. And I'm working on it. I told you I've got a daughter at Iowa that really loves it there. My oldest son's at Iowa State. James has got a daughter there. So it's, these state schools are doing, they're really good stuff out there.
Do great work.
Yes. And, are you going, when's the next game you're going to?
This Saturday against Michigan State.
And you tailgate, I assume?
We have a good time. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Now, do you take walk-ins? Like if I showed up randomly at your tailgate, I wouldn't get kicked out?
Oh, no. We've had several out-of-town guests that I think we treat them fairly well.
Even if I wore my Iowa State shirt, would I be okay?
For most part.
You can't control anybody else's reaction.
We just like it's just a football game.
Absolutely. How long you been going to Iowa football games?
I've been going 59 years. Next year will be my 60th year.
Wow.
We have a long history.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
We have a lot of fun.
Do you go to Iowa football games?
I've been to one or two.
Sue, see, there you go.
I'm participating. It's not something that's on my calendar. But
Deer hunting.
Right? Yeah. Oh, we better ask this. Kirk, are you an outdoorsman? Are you, for me, an outdoorsman is I will bring an RV or stay in a hotel or a house.
Glamping.
Glamping, right? Absolutely. Are you of my style of glamping?
Oh, absolutely. And we don't have any beds in our motorhome. We just
Really?
like
Yeah.
to travel in.
Yeah. The party bus, right?
Well, it can be that way.
Well, do you have a drink of choice when you're out there?
We have so many options and choices that it depends on what day part I'm in and whether it's a Coke Zero or a Diet Coke or a vitamin water or a body armor or regular water.
Well, speaking of that, how many
Yes, sir.
different types does Atlantic Bottling Company
bottle, we have, oh gosh, it's over 50 SKUs we produce.
Over 50 SKUs.
Between 20 ounce, 12 ounce, 8 packs, 2 liters, 12 pack, and 24 pack cans.
Oh, wow. Let's give our audience an idea of space, opportunity at Atlantic Bottling Company, just so they can understand how much is coming out of what I would call not a very big building.
Not a very big building, something that's been expanded on a number of times over the years. So, as Kirk mentioned, back in 2016, we were producing around 2.5 million cases. And, this past year, and we're on track again this year to produce around 7.4 million cases. So the walls haven't expanded since that happened, but we're still maintaining the ability to continue to grow.
7.4 million cases.
Not enough, Steve.
Not enough. It's never enough, is it? Never enough.
Room for more.
Room for more. Well, so where are the, do you call them territories that you go through distribution through?
So we have 10 facilities. We have 2 wet warehouses, Des Moines and Walcott.
And does that mean that's where, just so our audience paints pictures, that's where everything's bottled?
So everything is bottled at Atlantic, and then from Atlantic, we move it to Des Moines and Walcott, which are what we call a wet hub.
Okay.
And then that product is distributed to 7, 8 additional facilities around the state of Iowa. We do dip into the outlier states, except to the west, but that's pretty much the expansion of where we send our product to.
We're doing this interview in the Des Moines wet house. You want to talk about the Des Moines wet house?
Warehouse. So, so vernacular, will change. But, so Des Moines, we, acquired this shortly after the transition, the refranchising, our expansion, 2017.
When we bought this.
Yep. 405,000 square feet, 288,000 square feet of warehouse space. And,
was this needed to keep up with demand and sales?
Absolutely needed to grow and expand our production. We needed something larger. We entered.
Where were you at before?
In Waukee.
In Waukee.
The city was growing around our plant there, would have created a logistical nightmare trying to move product, just for local delivery. So we knew, again, we needed something different, something larger, and this was available. It fit our needs, and we just continued to grow out. You saw the automation system that's out there, a new change to how we operate, and really a necessity. So
this was, is there goals to expand more?
In which regard?
If demand keeps increasing, is there an opportunity to this facility right here, just to paint the picture, can handle more cases, SKUs through here?
Yeah, so the system that we have out there is designed for 800 SKUs, 800 different items. We're around 550 to 600 now, and we can add to the system to get up to 1,200 SKUs. So we have capacity to expand on our current footprint. From there, it's just, you have the time in the day. You can absorb a lot and expand without growing the building, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to be here a while, because that
Hopefully, yes.
Hopefully, yeah. Or maybe not. If you have to increase your demand, I'm going to have to get something bigger. But anyway, Kirk, you had mentioned earlier, fourth generations come on board.
Correct.
Can you talk about that? Highlight us on what does that mean and what does that look like?
Well, we started back with my father. We had a meeting, and we were trying to figure out what the succession's going to be. What happened if something happened to him, and our accountant gave him a tax bill with if something happened, if he got hit by a truck tomorrow, and we thought, we got to better do something. So we did some estate planning and business succession planning, and then after we got that done and waited a while, then I started to do that, and so I've been very fortunate to have a family that got along most of the time. And everybody really likes the business. They like being part of the family business. And the Coke business is pretty fun. So everybody just enjoys it. And so we want to make sure that we sustain the family business. And so we've been doing the planning. And now it's time we're about in our fourth generation of business and estate planning.
Oh, wow. So does that mean that you are looking at less responsibility? You're starting to go toward retirement, so to speak?
Or it depends on who you talk to.
What day of the week it is?
Yes. So I've transitioned to where I really don't do much day-to-day in the business. I sit on 5 national boards, mostly business or beverage-related. And so that takes a lot of my time, and we do a lot of traveling.
Yeah, but that's fun. Well, and I've also been told philanthropy work, right?
That's correct.
Can you explain of what you're doing in that aspect as you shed a little bit more responsibility and go more toward that area?
Yeah, a couple things is that in the community with the expansion and the refranchising, we encourage all of our people in the 10 facilities to get involved in their communities.
Yeah.
We employ about 860 people, and they live, work, and play in those communities. So we want those to be strong communities, places that has good schools, good recreation, good quality of life. And so we encourage them to give back to their communities. One of the ways that we have done that is I'm chairman of the Coca-Cola Scholars Foundation, which we give 150 scholarships a year to deserving students. These kids are incredible. We give 4-year, $5,000 a year scholarships.
Oh, wow.
And so it just meet amazing kids. And when people say, these kids now are lazy and they don't know how to work, and you just have to go into some of these schools and see what these kids are doing, and you don't think that way anymore.
Yep.
Another way of giving back is I had a mother and an older sister that passed away from cancer. So that's always been kind of a sweet spot for us, if you will. So the Atlantic Hospital, we partnered with them, and we're fortunate enough to be able to help them, and we've created the Tyler Family Cancer Clinic out in the Cass County Hospital.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing for rural Iowa. And so they don't have to go to Des Moines, Iowa City, Omaha, Mayo up in Rochester. Those are great facilities, but you already feel bad enough. And then when you have to do your treatments, you want to go somewhere where it's personalized and convenient. So we've really helped out there, and it's just a kind of a source of pride. And I think the Atlantic Hospital is one of the top 5 rural hospitals in Iowa, if not in the top 3. And we're proud to be part of that.
Well, that's a great story. Yeah, I can only imagine getting treatment and then having a 2, 3, 4 hour drive home.
Correct.
Right. And that just compounds the stress and the not feeling good part of it and everything. I didn't know that. That's phenomenal that you're working with Cass County Memorial Hospital.
It's a great and very much needed. We have people in Atlantic that come to Atlantic to get their treatments now from Sioux City, from Council Bluffs.
Oh, really?
Quite a ways away, yeah.
That's great. And we were there today, and how's small rural town Iowa doing?
Some are doing very well. They have good leadership in the town, whether it's the mayor, the city council. They have a vision for what's going to happen in the future. The people that say we want to remain the same, we want to stay at the 3,000 people level, they're going to get left behind.
Yeah. Well, then change is tough.
And
right?
It's not fair to the younger people in the community with no chance of employment, no chance for advancement.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Anita, we were talking about that. I think most in Anita drive either to Omaha or Des Moines to work, don't they, Jane?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about it. There's not a lot for younger generation, so they're moving out to find something for the most part. If you're fortunate enough to be able to transit back and forth between one of the two large cities and make it doable. But makes it tough to find good jobs if they're not there.
Oh, absolutely. Well, speaking of change, what do you think if we get a crystal ball, CSD, what's the future? Where are we going with carbonated soft drinks? What do you think the future is? It could be in flavors, sizes, convenience, all the above, right?
Right. And James said we produce about 50 products, SKUs. Total distribution, we are close to 500.
550, soon to be.
Oh, wow.
Different. So we offer a lot of choice.
Yeah.
And everybody keeps telling us nationwide, nobody drinks soft drinks anymore. They're all drinking water, or they're drinking teas or something. Well, Coca-Cola is still our number one selling brand by quite a ways.
Is it?
Yeah. Followed by Diet Coke, followed by Sprite, followed by Monster Energy. And so those top 4 or 5 brands constitute about 68% of our volume.
Oh, wow.
And so soft drinks, there's still going to be a market. And one thing with the diversity of the United States and coming to Iowa, a lot of other cultures really like carbonated soft drinks.
Yeah.
And so there's a bright future. But there's choices, whether there's a healthy choice, a protein. We talked about protein earlier today, protein drinks, drinking water, sparkling water, just all sorts of choices. 60% of the products that we sell today are zero-calorie products.
Really? 60%?
50%.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah. And so that when the government comes out and says, boy, your products are making people fat and unhealthy, it's just not true.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah. Well, and we also talked about the excellent work that you all are doing on sustainability and water reduction or water savings, however you want to say that it's a holistic view of how you produce, manufacture, and distribute your products, right?
A good example is plastic bottles. We bring them in from Bowling Green, Ohio, a co-op that we're part owners of. And people say, oh, you're contributing to all the litter out in the streams and the fields that you guys farm in and hunt in. Well, we want every bottle back because we bring them back, we recycle them, and turn them into soft drink bottles again.
Yeah.
So we want every bottle back, but we have to get the consumer educated enough and motivated enough to bring them back to us so we can make new bottles.
Absolutely. Well, and then touring the facility, I didn't know this, but you're not rinsing bottles out anymore. You're using, is it ionized air?
Ionized air.
Right. So just cutting your, what we call footprint by just doing that.
So ours is, in the Coke terms, it's water use ratio. So ours is the number one among U.S. producers. And some would say everywhere, but, just banging your chest for being in the U.S.
Absolutely. Oh, well, and we talked about this. Nobody's going to tell our story but us. And we need to get out there and tell our story before somebody else changes the narrative. And then it's tough to get your story back out there.
That's correct.
Right? Well, what else is on the horizon, James?
We're on the cusp of innovation season. So Q1 for at least the Coke company is all of our new items that are going to be interesting.
So do you start the end of Q3, beginning Q4 for that innovation? When does that process start?
That process is long.
Is it?
It started, back July, August. And so part of that is getting a forecast. One thing about forecasts is they're always wrong. True story.
We need the forecasters in here to defend themselves, James.
They're still wrong. But, we're pretty close. We're pretty good. We're about 95% efficient. But you start off with the forecast, and then that passes on to your raw material suppliers, and now they're in the process of making all that so you can achieve your goal on time. So some of our big ones will be February, the second week of February this year. We will be relaunching Mr. Pibb.
Really?
It is out in a few territories right now, Florida and the Reyes territory, which covers California and Great Lakes region. Everybody else is following suit here in February. So that's going to be a big one for us. We have Diet Cherry Coke coming. So a lot of carbonated soft drinks are being either brought back, reformulated, but we got some big kickoffs here in Q1.
I've always thought, and I'm going to use Hy-Vee as an example, walking in, and I know other places have this, but the Coca-Cola dispenser where you hit Coke and then you can hit whatever flavor you want. The data that you get back from that and understanding maybe what new combinations could come out in a bottle or a can or something like that. Do you all still use that as a data point, a data reference?
I believe it is used to some degree. So along with the Mr. Pibb line, there are 2 flavors that are going to be of Mr. Pibb. I'm not going to disclose those. It's not out there yet, but
remember, there's only 2 people that listen to this podcast, my mom and somebody else's mom. So it's not like we're going to spoil anything. All right. And maybe your mom will listen after we get you on.
I'll tell her.
Okay. We're up to 3 now. Well, that's great. Do you use any other data points? So being a scientist, I always like data to at least guide us. It may not always be correct, but it gives us a shining north. You use any other type of data or anything like that to help make decisions on where you want to move toward?
As far as flavors or just anything?
Anything. Just the tour of Atlantic and here in Des Moines, the artificial intelligence. I got to be careful when I say that because AI means something completely different to a farm kid than artificial intelligence. But the data and the information and the robotics is just mind-blowing. Kirk, did you ever think in your lifetime you would see this much automation and computer technology?
Ever dreamt of it.
Right.
Hopeful, but never.
Yeah. It's amazing. But any using of data and things like that.
So you're always looking at trends. It's the seasonality of our business. So water is obviously big during the summer, falls off, and then so your brand shift and change. But we do use a forecast, right? So like I say, it's all truthful. But that allows us to, part of that water use ratio, we forecast our production out 3 weeks. We're able to run efficient lines, so we don't have a lot of rinse outs, which create that water waste. So that would be on our production side. We use technology right now. We're still working through it. It's called BizStride. So we're tracking the movements of our drivers. We understand how long they spend in an outlet. And so we can take that real-time data, bring it back, and create real route plans that, you hand something to an employee that says, you're going to work 9 hours a day. Well, it's pretty close to 9 hours. No shit, you're tracking that history. So here's the things we're bringing in. But, we use a lot of technology in our business. We have the ability now that we can do predictive ordering for some of our customers, all based off trend. So,
that's amazing.
Constantly evolving.
I'll bet, right? Because if you don't change, you're falling behind, right?
Right.
Especially in this business.
Logistics too, with how many trucks we have on the road, how many miles we go in between places. We have to be very good at it. And we are.
Yeah. Right. I think there could be a lot of efficiencies drawn just in that segment of the business.
Correct.
Right.
And we have a fairly closed loop transportation system. So the machine out here, we deliver those finished orders, customer orders, and then we're bringing back either purchased goods from up north or we're bringing back our dunnage so we continue to produce. We're constantly flowing, moving freight or some type of freight. You want to move air. So
Speaking of that, what's the biggest change that you've seen in your career, Kirk? That just maybe let's put it as that surprised you, that you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe we're doing this.
Technology,
Yeah.
by far, and it keeps evolving. You saw today the VertiQ system, the automation in the warehouse. It's a game changer. Our workers' comp claims have gone down considerably. Our turnover has gone down considerably. Our hours worked and have gone down considerably. It's just amazing. But we have not lost any jobs.
Oh, really?
No.
Even with all the technology and everything
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, it is. We can repurpose some people, but
Yep.
Those people are working much more efficiently.
Because I would say, when you hear, hey, we're getting robotics or something, the first thing you think of is, oh my gosh, are we losing headcount?
Correct.
Right?
And I think James and all of our people really did a great job of over-communicating. Here's the opportunities you have. And to have people that you thought weren't a quality employee, they might be a gamer. And so they love being down there on the floor, hitting the button, watching the TV screen move and seeing what they have to pick next. And they just excel in those types of jobs.
So that it may not be the same job they did, but it's something that they could be better at or happier at, maybe.
We saw the plant in Atlantic, and when James and you were working there, if something broke down, you got the hammer and the vice grips and a screwdriver and fixed it. Well, now we've had to completely re-educate the workforce there in Atlantic. If something goes down, they have to go to a computer screen, and it tells them, here's what's gone wrong, here's what button to push. And so it's a completely different mindset.
Well, I thank you for instilling that confidence in me. But when things broke down on Atlantic, they gave me a hammer, some gloves, and told me to go break the glass bottles until the line was back up. So they didn't let me anywhere close to the machines. But I thank you. That makes me feel good. You made my day today.
yeah, well, they're right, James. Yeah. Just kind of touching on a couple of things here. One, when we were getting into this, it was, always talking about it as semi-automated, and any images we showed, it had somebody in that image. So you're not just looking at machinery. So I think that was key. And two of my favorite phrases after doing this project out here, automation, was, one, why didn't we do this sooner? And two, man, it's great to go home at night and my boots aren't full of sweat. So it's a different way of working, same results.
And maybe we're getting too deep in the weeds, but when an idea comes out, how do you get idea to implementation? Is there a lengthy process? Is there, again, I've been in the corporate world and filling out red tape and ROI and all that type of stuff, right? But I feel we're at a day and age where technology is 10 times better than yesterday, and tomorrow's going to maybe be 50 times better than today. And is it a competition? Maybe it's a competition out there with other bottlers or something like that, or other facilities.
Steve, a lot of our issues come up from our employees. Hey, did you ever think of this? Or something's not right here, or whatever. We as an executive team, we meet and talk about any issues. What are the pros? What are the cons? And being a family-owned business, ROI, yeah, we look at it, but if it's the right thing to do, it doesn't take us long. And then we assign James the job to go do it. And he does a great job of putting everybody together. And
wow.
And we're all family and work together and decide, okay, yeah, that's the right thing to do, and let's go do it.
Wow. That's a lot of responsibility for you, James.
It is just another day.
It's just another day. I like that reply. It's just another day. Oh my gosh. What's anything, I know we talked about Mr. Pibb, but anything technology related, efficiently related, sustainability related on the forefront, on coming down the pipe that you're looking at on the radar screen, something like that?
I'd say we're always looking at something. I don't know if we've circled and underlined anything yet that we're moving forward with, but there's a few things in motion.
Yeah, we talked about, I do a lot in the meats industry, and water is always a topic of discussion. Water utilization, sustainability, carbon footprint, carbon credits seem to be that. And there are some bigger companies that want to see your carbon credit if you're plus or negative and things like that, that I'm helping some companies try to get toward. And then the first thing is understand where are we at, you know, and I don't know if that's the same with the beverage industry or not.
It sure is, but I'm not sure it's completely understood.
Yeah, I know when I go to meetings and somebody says sustainability, I think it has 10 different definitions on what it is,
A couple different starting points.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, we're not the ones that can talk about the narrative. It's always those that don't like our industry that start that definition and narrative, isn't it?
Correct.
Well, we're getting down to the top of the hour, and we always want to ask, what questions do you have of Egg Ammo Adventure? Anything's on the table, right? As we talked in the car. What do you want to know about?
One question for you that I've asked you a lot over years, but you've seen a lot, done a lot in the business and worked in a number of positions. What is your favorite of everything you've done?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, boy. Well, like you said, I've been around a long time. And
I didn't say it that way.
Been around a while, I think is what you said.
Met so many great people. And two of the things, because of being in the industry, that I really point to is I had the opportunity to spend a week at the Army War College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And that is basically the master's program for Army officers. And that was just an incredible experience. And the second thing I had the chance to do was I went out to Norfolk, Virginia, and then flew out 250 miles out into the ocean and landed on the USS Theodore Roosevelt aircraft carrier and spent 38 hours out on the aircraft carrier. And so something that most people don't get to do, and is because of my connections in the soft drink industry, that those are really cool things to do. You know, there's day-to-day things, watching our employees grow and develop. Those are fun, but those were two of the really neat things that I've been able to experience.
I'm curious. I've flown a lot, too much. How was landing on an aircraft carrier?
It was scary as hell.
Was it?
And you're sitting backwards. And so the guy says, okay, when we get 5 minutes out, I'll say, get ready. When we're 2 minutes out, I'll really yell. And then when we're a minute out, you get ready. And you go from like 180 miles an hour to zero in 2 seconds.
No kidding.
Yeah. But that wasn't as scary as the taking off.
Oh, really?
You take off, and right as soon as you get to the end of the aircraft carrier, you drop down a little bit, and then they hit the gas.
Wow.
We watched night ops, and
yeah,
it's just 8,000 people on a ship. It's just an incredible experience.
That's bigger than Anita. Right? Bigger than a whale. What other questions you got, James? I see some red ink on there.
Red ink. What advice would you give to your younger self starting off in this?
Listen. I tell people, go out and meet as many people as you can and listen to them. And a good story behind that is when my daughter was down in Texas, and I told her, I said, I know you don't probably listen to my advice, but I told her, I said, go out and meet as many people as you can across the country and let them know who you are. And so on December, I called and said, geez, what are you doing this weekend? She goes, well, I'm going to Mark Cuban's house for a Christmas party. I said, you might have listened to me. So that's what I would say, and learn from other people, because there's so many very talented people out there.
What would your dad say if you walked into this facility and saw the Verticue machine? Would he be like, what in the heck is this?
We were very fortunate that he was able to see it run before he passed, and everybody thought he would, because you saw the picture of him with the horse and buggy delivering Coke one at a time, and I thought, oh boy, he's going to be overwhelmed. But he sat there and watched it for a couple hours, asked the right questions. How does this work? What do you do here? And he just really enjoyed watching the whole system.
So it sounds like he would embrace technology and things to help the business out.
He really liked change. You know, if we could do it better, as long as it's a quality product. But he'd also say, you know, that truck over there is kind of dirty. you better wash it.
Yeah. That's probably the old school, right?
Yeah.
It's got to look good.
The small details.
Yeah, the small details.
And all the things you saw in Atlantic today, he would have been very proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just in the, not to date us, but in the 30 years since I've been inside that facility, it has changed 1,000-fold.
Yeah, it's very proud. Great people doing it too.
And to get, 7.4 million cases out of it
0.4 and growing.
a year. That just is mind-boggling.
Yeah, he'd be very proud of that.
Yeah. To put it in perspective, do you remember how many cases came out when he first started?
Well, it's funny because when we were talking about the expansion, I asked him one day, I said, so when you moved to Atlantic to run that facility, how many people worked for you? 16. And so it's all, 99 and 7 months when he passed. And we sit back and we think of the things that he has seen change. And with the expansion, we proposed that. We thought, oh boy, he's not, what's he going to say about that? But he embraced it. As long as it's a family business, let's go.
So when he started, there were about 15 employees there.
In Atlantic.
In Atlantic. And how many employees are in Atlantic right now? One shift. Let's just say one shift. Keep it comparable.
One shift. You're 15.
Right?
But that includes, there's about 110, I think, with routes and merchandise.
Yeah.
The whole business.
Yeah. And I guess maybe my point is with efficiencies and everything, it hasn't grown a lot in the plants.
Correct.
People-wise, but your production has skyrocketed,
yeah,
for lack of a better term. That's amazing. That's something to be proud about.
Well, when he was started too, there was one product and one package.
That's right.
6.5 ounce Coke bottles.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We talked about this. I can remember the exact day in 3rd grade that I had my first Coke float.
Oh boy.
And Dad went out and made a Coke float, and we got after him. But he did not use root beer as a float. And he said, you kids haven't lived until you've had Coke float. And by golly, he was right.
And a Coke from Atlantic, Iowa.
Coke from Atlantic, Iowa. Bought it at the Hy-Vee store in Atlantic is what he did. In a glass bottle, too. Back then, but we used to use those as bottle rocket launchers.
Yeah.
They were
16-ounce bottles.
right. They were dual purpose.
We didn't like it when they came back with all the gunpowder on them.
Whatever else was in the bottles.
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, no, this has been good. Any other questions, James? Yeah. Kirk?
No, I'm good. Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time, thinking of us, and coming out and spending the day with us.
Well, thank you for the time. This has been great to go to Atlantic and here at the Des Moines facility. So we're going to say that that's a wrap on today's episode. Big thanks to Kirk Tyler for bottling up some boardroom wisdom and cracking open the story behind Iowa's favorite fizz. And a big thank you to James for getting this all lined up. And may your next deer be slower, louder, and less bulletproof than they have been in the past, James. And my regular co-host, wherever you are, may your boots stay dry, your calls stay convincing, and your trail camera finally catch something other than raccoons doing yoga. We'd love to hear from you at the Liars Club. Please give us your feedback, any ideas, deer stories, anything. Send us an email at agammoadventure@gmail.com. Until next time, keep your coolers stocked, your aim true, and your stories just wild enough to be believable. This is Ag Ammo Adventure, where the truth is optional, but the chaos is mandatory.